Hey everybody, I'm Jack Hammer. Today I wanted to go ahead and take you through Trey Sermon versus Texas Tech. This is from 2018 when Trey Sermon was a member of the Oklahoma Sooners. Wanted to go back and look at this one of his bigger games of his career. He started off at Oklahoma. He actually played there his first 3 years of his collegiate career were at Oklahoma. So the bulk of his time was actually spent there. As I went through and broke this down prior to getting on here, one of the things that I noticed was really how a lot of the ways that we've talked about, or at least I have talked about it, and Grant Cohn when I've been on with him, and some of the others that have been talking about how you might see Trey Sermon used with the 49ers. There's a lot of that in this film as we go through it. So want to go ahead and let's take a look at it. I'm going to fast forward through the majority of the passing plays because he was not targeted in this game on the pass. So I'll skip through most of that and try to just get to the running stuff as much as possible. So real quick shout out to Lucas. Lucas over in Austria. He joins these things all the time. It's midnight over there. So while we're still working out here on the West Coast, trying to wrap up our day with work and get away from our bosses, Lucas is over there staying awake and checking out his 49ers. So appreciate him joining all the time. Let's just jump into this now. Oklahoma versus Texas Tech from 2018. And they're going to start off right at the beginning of the game here. The first play of the game is actually going to be a run with Sermon, run into the middle of the line. Kyler Murray is the quarterback. One of the things that I find funny when I watched this is just how much bigger Sermon looks than Murray. You know, he's lining up behind him, and he's bent down into his running back stance, and he's about the same height as him, and he's already wider. You can see the width difference between these two guys, just how built he is. Nice run up the middle. Not a big hole there. He's able to get himself skinny. You know, we'd like to see him be able to keep his feet there because he would have been able to get a nice complete. He should have been able to pick up more yardage, but makes himself skinny, gets through the line, picks up 4 yards on first down. And then before I can fast forward it here, we'll go ahead and watch Kyler Murray throw an interception on his first throw of the game, just throwing it right at the Texas Tech defender. They get down in this game early. Obviously, they just give up a interception deep in their own territory right here. Texas Tech ends up scoring a touchdown, so they're down 7-0 right at the beginning of the game. They're actually going to be down 14-0 here pretty soon. So first down in the next series, and they're going to come out. We're going to see an option. They're going to run an option play out to the right, and Murray's going to give the pitch to Sermon on the edge. He pitches that ball out there. I really like this again, and just the nice run. He gets out there to the edge, and there's 3 Texas Tech guys right there to make the tackle on him. Makes the first guy, makes him really miss. One guy is able to kind of grab him and end up helping drag him down by the back of his jersey. But really nice run right there. He was kind of dead to rights when he got the pitch. He's got 3 guys there. Just watch it from the upper angle again, and just watch where the defenders are when Murray gives him the ball. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit here. He pitches them. They've got him right here. They've got 3 guys surrounding him. This is where, as a defensive coordinator, this is what you want. You got a guy on the inside, a guy in the middle, a guy on the outside. You should have this guy tackled for no gain or a loss. This guy should be going down. Running back should be getting tackled here at about the 17-yard line. Instead, he makes the first guy miss and gains another 7 yards after where he should have been tackled. So a gain that should have been nothing turns into a gain of 5. Just because of the running ability of Sermon and his ability to cut, make people miss, and he's just really slippery, and his cuts, he just goes from 0 to 100 so fast. And I apologize for the video quality here. This is an older video, like I said. It's from 2018, so it's not quite as clear as some of the newer ones are. So apologize for that if it looks not bad on your end. So they gain 5 yards there. Then we're going to have a run here on the next down, or pass, excuse me. You get a penalty targeting. Then here's going to be a run. It's going to be a quarterback run. They're going to run an option, but Murray's going to go ahead and keep it and get a couple of yards and slide down, which is what we hope we'll see out of Trey Lance if they run anything like this with him. I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward through here. We've got the quarterback run there. The next play is a play action pass. That's part of why Sermon isn't really used in the passing game very much while he's at Oklahoma, because they're using him primarily in play action, and then he's forced to kind of stay in and block or stay around the line of scrimmage and instead of being able to get into routes very often. And he just overthrows that one. And then on 3rd and 6 here, the last play of the drive, he's going to throw another bad interception on his own end. Airballs it. I'm going to jump forward a little bit because when they come back onto the field, he's not in the game right away. And he goes back in around here. So it's now they're down 14 to nothing. He's back in the game. I think this is going to be a play action pass. It's nice. This is something almost like you can see the 49ers running, where it's almost like a little bit of a leak play where they just sneak the fullback out of the backfield down the sidelines. Kind of looks like what we've seen the 49ers do with Kyle Juszczyk a few times. We saw it against Dallas last year. Just sneak him out of the backfield and right over the top. And the threat of the running game with Sermon back there really helps that out. Nice play fake by Kyler Murray. So it's going to set up 1st and 10. And this is where you start to see what they're going to be doing with him quite a bit. This is a counter Trey. This is something the 49ers ran a lot last season. And just look at the ability to finish the run. He's just a strong back. You've got to really square him up to take him down. Otherwise, he's gonna run through arm tackles. So there's your counter Trey. You got both guys coming from the other side. Keeps it tight. First man in the hole. There's a guy in the hole to tackle him. That's the guy that he needs to make miss, and he just runs through his tackle, finishes it off strong. Again, you see 70s in the hole. That's your drawn up perfectly for the defense, and your running back wins the down for you with a nice run right there. Now, so after that, we've got 1st and 10. There's a scramble by Murray here. And then here on 2nd and 6, it's a touchdown throw into the flat. So on that drive, you only got to see one run out of Sermon, the counter Trey on that 1st 10. That was a really nice run, though. I'm going to skip ahead. He's out on this next series. He's out of the game for most of it. 24-14. They end up with a quarterback run there to finish off the possession. Still down by 10, though. 12:52, 1st and 10. You're going to get a quarterback run. It's off of a read option, and then he's running. Couple of passes here. Quite a few of them, actually. That's a little RPO right there. Then we got 2nd and 1, and we're going to see a little inside run here from Sermon. Again, the first guy just usually doesn't bring him down. He gets through the line. There's a guy there, gets him, and he's able to make him miss. Let's watch this. He's going to go right up the middle. breaks through, makes the first guy miss, and he's gaining the first down. Nice easy run there. Nice run. And then 1st and 10 from the 32. Going to come back to that counter Trey. We saw him run it already once. Just look at that. He's able to squeeze through the hole, finish off the run. It just, once he gets going, he's just a tough runner. He's not easy to bring down. People aren't really squaring him up. He's not taking hard shots most of the time. Let's watch this one from the end zone. This is, a better view of it. Just look at the cut right there at the end of the run, the start of the run, excuse me. So typically on this, the guard's going to kick out, and then the tackle pulls up through the hole. That's generally the way they run the counter Trey. There's your kick out, your pull. Does a nice job cutting that up inside. Texas Tech had defended that pretty well, taking out the lineman. Sermon's just able to cut right up inside of that, and he's gone down the sidelines. Takes it inside the goal line, or the inside the red zone, deep down in there. Now they're at first and goal from the 5. This is actually a Wildcat. They've taken Murray. They slid Murray's here. Sermon's in the backfield in the quarterback position, and he's going to take a direct snap, and they're going to run basically the same counter Trey. They're going to run it the other way, and he's going to go right in the middle for a touchdown. This is an interesting one. I just find this one fascinating because it's the same thing as what we've already seen, except for the way that they block it up is different. This guy is going to be the guy that's going to lead him up to the hole. The guard's going to kick out, and this guy's going to come up through, and he's going to be the one that leads him up into the hole. You see that, and then he just falls right off that block into the end zone for a touchdown. Really nice. You see Oklahoma run it a variety of ways throughout this game. The 49ers do the same thing. They get into it in a lot of different. It ends up being the same play with just different blocking based on the alignment of the defense. You see the kick out from the guard. Up through the hole is the running back from the other side, and Sermon's right up the middle for a touchdown. His first of 3 on the day. 1st and 10, now they're way backed up. They got the ball on their own 1-yard line. And it's just going to be, takes us off tackle. Again, makes the first guy miss, and now he's dragging guys down for another yard or 2 to get outside of the red zone. It's kind of just a power run off the right side. Almost like an outside zone. They get good push out there. He makes the first guy miss, cuts up inside of him, and is able to get up the field for 8 yards, gets him out of that, kind of gives him a little bit of breathing room, sets up 2nd and 3. And now we're going to be watching. This is going to be the counter Trey again. Run it to the right side, right up the middle. Finishes it off. So he's taking them from their own 1-yard line all the way out to the 19 to start this drive. Really nice. That's where this guy, Sermon's just such a powerful runner. Keeps us tight, explodes through the hole, finishes it off with a nice run. They're just going to kind of keep feeding him here. Now it's going to be 1st and 10. And they're going to go with another. This time it's going to be a little bit more of an inside run. Like what we saw. It's going to be similar to the first play from this series. They just get penetration, though, off the backside, and he's able to corral him. This is going to be a big play, except for 71, I think it is, gets beat to the inside. Yes, 71's trying to step down, and the defender is able to beat him inside of him and penetrate into the backfield and pull him down. 2nd and 9, we're going to get a pass. Just watch this one. So they're all like a power I formation, and a fake that the Trey counter Trey look out of the backfield and then take a shot down the sideline for a big completion. So I'm gonna skip this next play. They give him a breather here for the next one, which is a another pass there, and looks like a pass interference on the defense. So working on a 99-yard drive, they've got Sermon in the backfield in the pistol formation with Murray, and they're going to run an option out here to the left side, to the wide side of the field. Give him the pitch. It's basically like a toss sweep, and he's able to run it down and pick up the first down. Here he shows his speed to the edge. There he goes. Nice run. Gets him down there, and now it's going to be first and goal from the 7. They're going to come back and run basically the same play to the opposite side. They're going to run the option out to the right side now. Makes the first guy miss, and then finishes the run off tough. Gets it down to the 5-yard line. Should have been a loss of 5. He's contacted 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and is able to keep his balance and gain a couple of yards. He just has such good balance all throughout when he runs. It's really impressive. And then on second and goal here, they're going to throw a touchdown for a pass, or a pass for a touchdown. Excuse me, touchdown for a pass. Kia says he likes how he makes himself skinny through the hole. It looks like Frank Gore, when Frank would get skinny, then burst through the hole. Yeah, he does. There's you see a lot of Frank Gore style running out of Trey Sermon. It's that, I call it contact balance. Just that when he's going into the hole, he makes himself small. He is kind of upright, but he has that ability to get contact, and he's maintaining his balance throughout. And then once he gets past and he starts to move and get some momentum on him, it's really very similar to like a little mini Marshawn Lynch. He's not Marshawn Lynch's size or anything like that, but the way he finishes off runs is impressive. So they start off this next possession with a quarterback run. It's off of I think it's a read here. And he goes ahead and keeps it. I'm going to fast forward. You got a 1st and 10 here. They're going to get an RPO pass out to the right side. And then it's going to be I think there might be a penalty on that one. Actually, they call it incomplete. And then they're going to do a play action pass here. Nice completion on over route right there by Murray. But you see, Sermon's in the game, but they don't really ever use him very often as a receiver. There's a couple of times where they put him in pass patterns, but they never actually throw the ball to him. So another pass out of play action there that's incomplete. So 2nd and 10, and we're going to see them run a stretch out to the right side. This something that we saw when he was at Ohio State as well. They ran that stretch with every once in a while. You see that here again. He's able to get outside and gain a couple of yards out to the right. He's trying to, as he gets out there, you'll see him trying to cut it up. He's trying to get upfield, but the defender's doing a good job there. And then the secondary defender, number 5, is not able to hold him from getting to the edge, and so he's able to run him out of bounds after only a gain of 3. 3rd and 7, that'll be an incomplete pass. Sets up 4th and 7, and it's going to be this one should be a completion. He hits the tight end right over the middle, drops it. And this is one of the few times where they run Sermon out of the backfield. This is I believe this is what they call a bench route, where they basically get crossers, and then the tight end is going to sit over the middle, and they're going to use Sermon out of the backfield, kind of like on a wheel, try to hit him deep. That's what his role would be. It would be to have a deep shot down the sidelines here. You see the crossers. The safety does a good job. The cornerback, does a good job of sitting on the wheel, and so he's not open. And so that's part of what helps open up the tight end in the middle of the field. So that 4th and 7, they end up nowhere. 1st and 10 on the next drive. It's going to be a quarterback read, and they go ahead and give it to him. Nice gain of about 3-4 yards. Pistol formation. This is something that I would expect us to see with the 49ers. It's actually a read with, it looks like a Trey, counter Trey again. Really is what this is, because you're going to see these guys pulling. Yep. It's the counter Trey with the backfield motion looking like a QB read, but it's actually counter Trey. Again, remember, you're going to get a kick out and a pull. It's usually the way that this works. Kick out, pull up, really nice, and they just missed the one of the guys is missed. Let's see where he comes from. These guys are all blocking down. 75 doesn't hold his block, and so his man's able to scrape across and make a tackle. From that point, the next 3 are passes. There's a wide open guy for a touchdown here that he misses. This was the first pick in the draft, and he's got this guy running wide open down the middle of the field, and it's a terrible throw. And then another incompletion. And then they're up the middle for short gain. So I missed a couple of plays there, or one play there that the quarterback read up the middle, and then they have 3 pass plays here in a row to kind of finish off the. They're at the end of the half right here, so they're trying to, or the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Excuse me. There's a lot of passes here at the beginning of the second half. That's just trying to look through. I'm going to fast forward here because he's out of the game at this point. Sermon is. So just jump forward. First and 10, up by 4. 3rd quarter. Basically have both of their halfbacks in the game, and they're going to run behind him. He's actually the lead blocker on this one for Murray. And Murray's able to gain a couple of yards. Murray just stayed up inside. He could have just dove for a couple more yards than what he ended up getting. I'm going to fast forward again. Actually, let's pause it here for just a second. I will jump forward in just a minute. I just want to look at the comments and see what we've got over here. Key again, Frank's made himself an every down back by his pass blocking skills and knew what to do when the defense would do an overload blitz to one side of the line. Does Trey show the same ability? He's not at this point, I wouldn't say that Trey Sermon is an advanced pass blocker in any sense. He does a pretty good job though for the most part, and that's something that we should see them develop with him. Just the way that he was used between Ohio State and Oklahoma, he wasn't really asked to really be a pass blocker too often. But on the Ohio State film that I went over with Grant on Tuesday when we did that breakdown, that showed a few examples of him in pass protection. So I don't think he's that bad. I think it's something that he should be able to pick up pretty quick, and by the time preseason's over with, week 1 comes around, he should be okay. Cody asks, who do you think is the odd man out at running back? It's a crowded room right now. And it really is. I think it's going to be an interesting battle. If I was to look at this right now and say that there's a guy that might be an odd man out, that's going to be between Raheem Mostert and Wayne Gallman, I think. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. Kind of fits their style of what they're looking for. I really think they're looking for guys that are bigger backs. And so I think that's where Wilson has an advantage over Mostert. And Mostert just, Raheem Mostert is the Jimmy G of running backs. He's really good when he's healthy, but when he's not healthy, but he just can't stay healthy. So that's the issue there with Mostert that I see. Gallman is the new guy. He's a big back that kind of fits their system. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. And that's probably something I can give you a better answer to once they get into practicing and season and whatnot. We can see where they're going. So I'm going to skip forward here just a little bit further. 38. He's out of the game right now, and we'll bring him back in. They're up 4:20 to go in the third quarter. And both their halfbacks in the backfield at this point, and they're going to run. This is going to be an inside run. Just like it's basically an inside zone. That's why you got the back from the backside, from the right side is going over and blocking. 26 comes over. He's trying to basically cut off the backside. That's why I'm saying it's an inside zone. Watch the linemen. They're all just kind of taking their steps, and then he's got to find the hole. Does a nice job. Picks up about 4 yards on the run there. Then on 2nd and 6, we get a pass. That's incomplete. Well, I think there's a hold. They called for holding on the screen right there. I think it was number 71. They call for the hold. Then it turns into 2nd and 16 here. They try to run this little reverse. And too much dancing around, not enough attacking of the line of scrimmage, and they get tackled for no gain. Then 3rd and 16. They're called for a false start. Sets up 3rd and 21. They're going to just run an inside run here with Sermon, and then they'll be punting the ball away. 3rd and 21. They're deep in their own territory. They just don't want to turn the ball over or do anything stupid. So they run the ball here, pick up a couple of yards, get the clock spinning. That's good coaching right there. Good game management from the coach to recognize the situation, get the clock moving, and set yourself up for a decent punt. And even on this one, is when you watch this play, it's really, it could go for more, but 72 kind of oversteps, and he's actually going to get in the way. Turns around, and 72 here, the left guard really makes the tackle. Let's watch here. Yeah, see, he just gets around too far and on his reach block and ends up having to turn backwards. And then at that point, you never want to do that as a offensive lineman, and the running back's banging into him. And so right now it's 35-34, tight ball game. They've come back. Oklahoma has, but it's a tight game, and there's in the fourth quarter now, and we're going to watch you're going to see now Trey Sermon take over at the end of this game. And this is how I kind of foresee him with the Friars. He hasn't touched the ball a ton in the first half. Up to this point, he's touched it a few times, but from this point on, he's going to run the ball about 12 more times. Start here with a little counter. Trey does a nice job. Again, they're able to bring him down. The guy has to grab his ankles to keep him from turning for more yardage. So 1st and 10 turns into 2nd and 4. Come back around the counter Trey the other way. Right up the middle, makes himself skinny, dancing, moving. He's not, when I say dancing, he's not dancing in the hole. He's still moving forward. He has that ability it's almost like he's skiing, to just kind of go back and forth, and the whole time he's gaining depth down the field, and picks up another first down. Watch this from this view. Right into the hole. 13's got the man. 13 is unblocked, and you got an unblocked defender sitting in the hole. He makes a miss and is still able to pick up the yardage for a first down. Just a really nice run right there. Then we get he's got the guy wide open. He drops it. They've been running the ball really well. It sets them up perfect for a play action. Just imagine Trey Lance and Trey Sermon in the backfield, just pounding the defense, and then being able to go off play action off of that, suck everybody up, get one-on-one coverage with Brandon Ayuk, and then let Trey Lance use that arm and take advantage of Brandon Ayuk's ability to get down the field. Unlike what they were able to do last year, they never really had that chance. So a little scramble right there. Come back 1st and 10. It's going to be right back to Sermon again. It's their inside zone out of a QB read look. Out of the pistol. Just an inside zone, and they take him down off the edge. The guy's coming outside. Nice gain of 3 though. Gets them 2nd and 7. They're going to go play action here. Just a quick out. Guy makes his man miss. Takes it down inside, and that's going to set up 1st and 10. Another play action pass, and this is going to be a completion out to the left side, excuse me, for a gain of about 8. And he's taken out right about the 20. But the running game of Sermon running the ball, picking up positive yards repeatedly, makes it so that the play action game as a threat opens up those passing lanes. Now we got 2nd and 2 at the 20. They're going to come back to that counter Trey. And this time they bust it, and he's able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. Remember I've been telling you that the counter Trey, you've got the first man through is your first guy here. It kicks out, and then you bring the guy across. So now they're doing this out of a strong I formation from the pistol. This time, though, they're going to keep this guard in. He's going to block here. And this guy becomes your guard. Fullback actually ends up being your kick-out man, and they're bringing this tackle from the backside. He's going to pull up through the hole. It's still the counter Trey, just run out of it. They might call it something different, but it's the same principle of the play. And there you go. And they bust it, and they've been hitting it, and late in the game right here, they finally just run the ball right down their throats. A couple of throws. This is really nice football, and give themselves a two-score lead. Kick out, lead through the hole, right up the middle, gone. Nice touchdown. Nice run like that to me is much prettier than I prefer a run like that than a long pass. Kevin asks, do you think Sermon can be a bell cow running back with the Niners, like a Dalvin Cook type runner. I don't know if I necessarily say he's a bell cow. I think he's a guy who could average maybe 20 carries a game, 20, 25. But those are going to be, it's not throughout. It's not going to be like he's pounding the ball over and over. It's like, you're going to see him maybe get 5 to 10 carries throughout the majority of the game through the first 3 quarters. And then in the fourth quarter, when the defense is kind of worn down, that's when you see him come in, and then he just starts to pound. That's kind of where I see what I've seen with him. You watched him play at Ohio State, and there were times where he took the game over. But on a game in and game out basis, I think you want to be a little careful with him early on. He's had some injury. He has a little bit of an injury history. He had an injured back in high school. He was injured at Oklahoma his junior year, which is why he missed some time his last season there in Oklahoma. And then he got hurt in the national championship game this year. So you want to be a little bit careful with him. But I think he's a guy that he's your closer. That's the way that I put it. I think he's the guy who you're going to be able to get him to run the ball sporadically throughout the game. But when it's closing time and you're up like this, where right now they're up by only 4 points. Remember the previous possession when they scored the touchdown, they were up by only 1. That's where you go to Sermon, is to get those first downs in that tight situation to just run out the clock and really just beat the defense into submission. Cody says keep him fresh to close out the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's really what I say. That's why when I put this out, I said, let's watch and see how I think they're going to use it. The 49ers are going to use them. This is what we're seeing. Now there's late in the fourth quarter here, they're only up by 4 points. Don't want to give the ball back to Texas Tech, who's obviously having some success with you because they just keep the game close. You're not pulling away. And they're going to come out here 1st and 10. They run a little QB read. Nice run by Murray. And as I'm breaking this down, you got to remember here, we're late in the fourth quarter. You're up by only 4 points. Why are you running out of bounds? Just get down right now. Instead, he runs the ball out of bounds, stops the clock. We've seen him do that same thing in the NFL. We're not talking about Kyler Murray, but that's just an overall football thing. Football IQ. You got to get the ball, and we're gonna see that coming up here in a second with Trey Sermon. Just slide right there, hit the ground. I know the clock stops with the first down, but it also in college, but it also restarts as soon as the chains are reset. Whereas with him running out of bounds, the clock stops until they start the next play. Anyway, 1st and 10, they're going to run a counter Trey out here to the right, or the left, excuse me. Actually, I don't think this is a counter Trey. We'll see. It's an outside run to the left. No, it's just an outside zone to the left side. He does a nice job. Makes the first man miss again, picks up a couple more yards, and sets him up with 2nd and 4. There's the counter Trey. And look at him just being able to. He's just skating through he's just skiing downhill, just like he's like his feet are moving like a slalom skier. You watch a slalom skier just back and forth like this. That's how he's running, and he's gaining as he's going through the hole. Just watch him. It's pretty. Boom, boom, boom. Really nice. The feet just don't stop, and they just keep moving back and forth, and he's got that balance. That's. Think about the Winter Olympics and that guy when he's going down the hill with the moguls, right? Boom. That's what this looks like. Looks like the guy going down the moguls. Back and forth, back and forth. Nice run right there. Sets up 1st and 10. Now they're going to run the counter Trey this other way, and I think this is the one. Oh, not quite yet, but they're going to run it here. Again, quick cut, explode, get up into the hole, picks up 3 yards. Keep the clock moving. You're just grinding them into submission here. And then you got 2nd and 7. And this is the one I was talking about. So they're going to run counter Trey to the right side. Let's just watch the way he finishes this play. Remember, it's late in the game. You want to try to keep that clock running. It's actually the toss on the option. And he could probably pick up another couple yards if he wants to. You know, he gets out there to the edge, and he could probably, you know, sprint to the sideline and jump out of bounds and have the first down. But instead, he just cuts up and he kind of stops his feet because he knows he wants to go down in bounds. Keeps that clock running, and he's going to go ahead and set up 3rd and 1. Just heady kind of football play right here by the running back. You don't ever really this is one of the few times where we ever see him starting to get tackled and he kind of just tackles himself. Watch, he just kind of stops this. He almost never does this. He stops his feet to make sure he goes down inbounds. Keep that clock moving. That referee got to wave his arm. 3rd and 1. They go Wildcat, and it's going to be an inside run, almost like an ISO kind of play. Again, just makes himself skinny, fits through the hole, and pops it for 5 yards. Just grinding them. Again, grinding the defense down. Gets himself skinny, gets through the hole for a first down. And then here we go, 1st and 10. They're up by 4. Ball's on the 30-yard line. They've been doing this all game long. Going to run another counter Trey. Hit, boom, boom, inside, out. Touchdown. Just a really nice play. I mean, this one wasn't, you know, the first time when he ran this, he was able to explode up through the hole. This time it wasn't quite blocked up quite so good at the point of attack where he's able to explode through the hole, but it's still, the whole defense is right there. He makes one little jump cut and they're all falling all over each other and he's into the end zone. That's a really pretty play. This is his last carry of the game. Let's just watch it one more time because this is nice. Let's appreciate that. Let's watch it in slow motion too. Gets up into the hole. Look at that cut. Wow. That cut to the right. He's got all those guys there. He makes that one cut, and that defender that he makes miss takes out 3 Texas Tech defenders. Boom. Just makes them all miss. They're all falling down and around all over each other, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Puts them up by 11 and puts the game away. You know, imagine having this with the 49ers on a regular basis. That's pretty much the game. That's it. They come back after that and they just kneel the ball down and it's over with. But that's really what you get out of Trey Sermon as a guy who can. He's a finisher. He's got great balance. He's got strength. Runs powerful. You can see there's times where he's, you know, football smart there to get the edge, get the corner, get upfield and hit the ground so that the clock keeps running. Really good stuff out of Trey Sermon, and I think this is what we can expect to see him with the 49ers. I look for this first Sermon to be a guy who's going to get 15 to 20 carries a game, and like I said, probably 5 or 6 maybe throughout the course of the early part, and then just really closing it out at the end. Did Kyle find Sermon watching Kyler or watching Fields? How deep is the love affair? That's a lot of film watching him. You know, for myself, I don't know. I can't speak to when Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers coaching staff found him. But I know that for myself, I found out about Trey Sermon when I was watching Justin Fields, because watching the Ohio State offense throughout the year of 2020 that he was there, I just kept thinking to myself, why isn't this guy playing more? Every time he gets the ball, he's making plays. I didn't really know a whole lot about Trey Sermon up until that point, and it wasn't until after he got drafted to the 49ers that I went back and started watching his tape from Oklahoma. So really good player. I know that when he was drafted on a week ago on night 2, that was the one pick that got me really excited and jacked up, and I had sent a text to my brother right away that the 49ers got a stud, and he was pretty excited about that as well, because that's a player that he had been talking about wanting the 49ers to draft himself. So good stuff there. That's Trey Sermon, Oklahoma, 2018. Some of what we can expect to see out of him with the 49ers, I believe. Really appreciate everybody jumping on that joined live. And if you're not watching this live, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this also. And please click the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you know when we're recording, and then maybe you can jump on with us then. So appreciate everybody for coming on, and have a great rest of your day.